Hey y'all, it's Maddie from the Itty Bitty Homestead Committee. Today we are going to breed a couple of does and talk about why we breed our does when they still have kits and why we rebred Penguin here. So let's hop into it. All right, so this is our first breeding pair. The rabbit with more white on them is the doe. The rabbit with more black is the buck. And the reason we're breeding these two again is the doe has reached day 37 on what should have been her first pregnancy, and she did not take. So we're rebreeding her to the same buck, hoping that she'll have kits this time. Now, if you watch, she's being very receptive to this buck. She's lifting on her hind end and presenting herself, and she's being very docile towards him, which is an amazing first step because last time she was being a bit aggressive with him and she was chasing him up the walls. So I'm very hopeful for this pairing this time. I waited for Strawberry to have 3 fall-offs before I took Penguin out of his cage, and he had all of them relatively quickly. And I am hoping that this breeding took, but if not, I will breed her again here in about 12 hours because rabbits ovulate when being bred. So again, super happy with this pairing and how docile Penguin is being towards Strawberry, and I'm really hoping that this one took because it looked like it was a great breeding. So the next doe we're currently breeding is the doe in with this litter right here. It's Sadie in the corner. These babies with her are almost 7 weeks old, so I feel confident in seeing if she is back to condition. So what I do to ensure that she's back to condition is I weigh her, I do an evaluation, we cut her nails, and we just make sure that she has gained back all the weight that she has in the past. She actually has more weight on her now than when we bred her the first time. So I am confident in going ahead and rebreeding her now. And this just kind of gives you an idea of what her in a good condition looks like. I am going to top off her feed with black oil sunflower seeds and oats for a little while, just to guarantee that she picks up just a bit more weight in her next pregnancy. But I threw her in with Strawberry as well because I really want kits out of this buck. He has been bred to multiple does and he hasn't caught, so I've been shaming him for being a bad breeding buck, but I feel a lot better in his confidence compared to the last couple of times. This time he's actually mounting the does and chasing them around instead of hiding in the corner and having the does breed his head. So this and how he's reacting with both of his does is just really good. I will say that Sadie was not quite as receptive as Penguin was, but she still was lifting and very good with the breeding. So again, just like with Penguin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them about 12 hours and then I'm going to rebreed them just to make sure everything's stuck and that we have a larger litter size. But again, I'm super excited for this pairing. I took Sadie to show last year and just to see what some judges would have as a conversation about her, and we all agreed that she was too light. But other than that, her body type was really good. We liked her shoulder and her roundness. Even though she was a very small rabbit, she was described as being very well balanced with great depth. So I'm very excited to breed her here to Strawberry for their kits. With that being said, I'm hoping that by breeding her to a black-based rabbit that we can get better darkness over the fur of the animal because, again, she is a best of group, best of variety, and I always do that. Strawberry, this buck here, is about 1 leg away from his grand champion. So in theory, genetically speaking, I should be getting some amazing babies out of this pairing. So yeah, very excited for this pairing. And the reason why we are looking at breeding Sadie when she still has kits is because she is still in a good heat cycle to easily catch another pregnancy. A lot of times with rabbits, if you hold off breeding them till after their kits are weaned to where they're no longer in that cage with them, they don't produce the same hormones because they're no longer producing milk. So it's best to rebreed your does when they still have kits. With that being said, depending on if you are a high quantity breeding program or low quantity breeding program should depend on when you breed them. Of course, with taking condition into consideration. You need to make sure that your does are in the right condition, meaning that they have gained their weight back and they don't have any atrophy of the muscles, and that they don't have any tearing or any kind of health problems before you rebreed. With that being said, my preference is to breed the does when their kits are between 6 and 8 weeks of age. That way the mom not only gets bred within the time frame of those hormones being in the right condition, but she also has about 2 to 3 weeks where she does not have kits in the cage and she can just relax and not worry about nursing and chasing babies around. It allows her to calm down and get back into a cycle where she can gain even more weight if her condition needs just a little bit of work. With that being said, you can actually rebreed your rabbits the day they give birth or the day after they give birth. There are a lot of heavy quantity breeding programs that will breed their does between 0 and 4 weeks of those kits. I don't recommend that because I like to make sure that my babies are properly weaned off of mom and that they do have a time frame of some wiggle room in case I'm worried about things like GI stasis or mastitis. So that's kind of where I sit on the whole weaning and rebreeding with kits. I hope that was helpful to you and that you enjoyed this video. And again, thank you for making it so far, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.